Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Richard. Happy 8 p.m. And today's conversation is don't take anything personally, and we'll also do Q&A as we always do every single day. Thank you for so much for hopping on this stream. I'm guessing if you're literally hearing my voice right now, it probably means it's recording. It probably takes a little bit of time for people to hop on. Anyway, thanks for joining me. And conversation is inspired by a email that I received. And if you are this person who was in this email, I just want to say, before I do that, please give me a second. I need to adjust my internet settings. Okay. So sorry if you noticed some interruption briefly because I switched over my internet. Okay, so I'll kind of give you the scenario of what happened today. And again, if you are this person, I'm not going to use a name because I didn't. I want to share with you a little bit of a scenario of what happened today and why this topic of don't take anything personally came up. The person who I was talking with via email, I just want to let you know that I have a lot of love for you, and already know that. There's no hard feelings or anything like that. But here's the scenario. I'm not gonna use any names because I didn't get prior permission. But if this person does hop on, which this person is on one frequently, then I would love to. I'm pretty sure he's okay with it. Sure, that I'm not kind of giving things away. So the scenario was today, and the email essentially said, Richard, I guess you're upset at me. I received this email. I was just like, wait, what? Like, what? Like, where did this come from? Like, why did this person assume that I was upset at him? This is the third or the fourth email that I received that had a little bit of this tone of, I don't know how to say this, a little bit of a tone of like insecurity, or this person felt like I was ignoring him, his questions and things like that. So it was really interesting to me because I don't have any intention to ignore people's questions. Or, as I mentioned to this person, if someone's writing a troll comment or something that's like very whatever, somewhat disrespectful or completely irrelevant, then I'll move on from it. But if someone's asking a genuine question, which this person is, I'm going to do my best to address it. Now, somehow I managed to miss his questions 3 or 4 times. Questions are something along the lines of that. I just forgot to, or I did not respond to certain messages. Happened. So he assumed that I was upset, and in a way, he felt like the feeling that I got was that he thought that I didn't really care about him. And I'm not here to justify, validate anything like that, but I do care about people, and especially people who are struggling with insecurities, are like people, like literally, me being a person who struggled so much with my own insecurities growing up. I understand what that's like, really relate with that. So it's like I kind of have a people who struggle with their insecurities and things like that have a special place in my heart in a way. Mike Hawk, good to see you on, brother. Let me see here. Yeah, so essentially, how do I say this? This conversation came up because I'm reflecting on it. I'm reflecting on kind of my, and how much I used to take things personally. So this is interesting. So let's talk about like literally today. Today was this tiny little moment. And so today I was playing basketball. Some other people at my local gym. What happened? The person I was guarding, and this guy's like, he's a really good ball player. Like he got moves, and he was crossing me over. He was pump faking, like fake shot, and I look around, like waiting for the rebound, had the ball in his hand. Like, he did that to me twice. So, the guys on the court they're making fun of me. Like, they were you know, because like I massively got fooled. I got totally made a fool on the court by this one guy, which, you know, props to him for doing that. Katie, good to see you on. So anyway, when the guys on the court started laughing at me, or just laughing at the situation, really, that insecure part of me, that, you know, the old story of Richard, that felt like if I didn't catch myself, I would have felt like, oh, they're attacking me, like they're laughing at me. Therefore, you know, that's probably because I don't get it, you know, that I'm not competent enough to figure out how to play basketball and not get fooled. So that would be my old reaction. But hey, when I started, when they were, you know, quote unquote laughing at me, that it wasn't personal. You know, it's not like I got massively offended and heard about it. I did a little bit. There's a tiny little bit of the old Richard story that got hurt, that people were laughing at me, and I had to stop myself that way and then notice. I had to notice in that moment. I was like, wait, Richard, they're doing, they're laughing because a funny situation happened. You know, like I got crossed over, I got pump faked. Like that was the worst one. Imagine you're guarding someone, they quote unquote shoot the ball, you turn behind you, and then you're like, where's the ball? So yeah, anyway, it was a little bit embarrassing, but it was funny at the same time. Honestly, it's like someone who has high self-esteem, who is not insecure, um, you know, whatever, just knows about this, like, feel embarrassed, like they'll accept themselves for who they are. So real, I believe this to me means that it's just a process. Like for me, it's to not take anything personally. Like that's kind of what I learned from this one situation. So that, in combination, this one basketball situation in combination with the emails that I received today, gave me a little bit of a reminder. Anathox, good to see you on, brother. Good to see you on. Let's see here. So I want to go back to this email. So if you're, let's see, yeah, if you're just hopping on, I shared it. One emailed me. I'm not going to say who. I'm hoping this person does pop online because they usually do. Let me see here. What do I say here? I guess for me, it's like, remember, I used to take things so personally. I used to think that whenever someone laughed at me or whenever someone did something to me, like I would look for stories or reasons to validate the story. So, for example, if let's say I don't get picked for the class when we're playing handball or dodgeball or whatever it is, that I'm this loser that nobody wants. I'm not skilled, unwanted. I'm unworthy. So, for anyone who is on right now, that's funny. I'm like looking for certain people. Like I'm like, I wonder if Kitty's going to be on. So Kitty's another viewer who's been on for the past few days. Anyway, like this is so I don't know. To me, it's a little bit mind blowing. It's like I'm putting myself in my younger self. You know, whatever, in elementary school, middle school, high school, just grade school. I remember that was like that's such a tough time for many of us to kind of figure out self esteem. How do we build up that confidence when we're getting put down all the time? When class for the soccer team or the handball team or you know whatever it is, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to be rejected by people, right? So let's see here. I guess really the main message of today is that like nothing is ever personal. This comes, you know, this thought was really solidified by me through the book The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, one of my favorite books. There are a ton of great books out there, and you know people could argue, but for some reason, for me, it's because it's such a simple read. It's such a simple four agreements, four concepts that you live. You know, if you do these four things, you will essentially and have a good life. Like you'll find peace in your life. So the four agreements. I'm For some reason, I always remember 3 out of the 4. For some reason, I can't remember the 4th. Let's see if I remember all 4 of them off the top of my head right now. So what the 4 agreements are in order, but let's go. So number 1, not in order. Always do your best. Let's see. Be impeccable with your word. Me personally, and don't make assumptions. Yes. I don't know. I always forget one of them. Always do your best. Be impeccable with your word. Don't make assumptions. What's the other one? And don't take anything personally. Like if you live by these 4 things, essentially, like you'll be so much happier in your life. So again, I love this book because it's like sometimes simple, like less is more. You know, sometimes the message, the more impactful it is, and that was the case for me in this with this book. So conversation is don't take anything personally. So anyway, email example because I want to. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of backtrack and share this person's side when he sent the emails, and then later on I'll kind of give the explanation why. There's no reason to take anything personally. So, has been emailing me several times, which I'm more than happy to respond to emails when I have the time and opportunity to do so. So I'm trying to like not give away any details here, any sensitive information, but essentially has in the past been like, hey Richard, essentially something along the lines of like, hey, I guess you don't want to talk to me, or I guess you're upset at me, something like that. Just like a lot of there's been a lot of feeling like that I was ignoring him question today, so that's happened. I've been notified by this person 3 or 4 times at this point that I've ignored I missed his question, I ignored his question, and I'm upset at him. Going back to the 4 agreements, these are assumptions. I ignored his question. It's an assumption that I'm upset at him because I never specified. I never directly said I am upset at you and I am ignoring your questions. I did not say that. So this is this person's belief, and like it doesn't help when if we are insecure, it does not help when we have these thoughts, oh man, someone's ignoring us, or oh man, someone's someone is upset at us. It makes us feel bad. It makes us feel like we're not worthy, we're listen to us, we're unwanted, right? So it doesn't help that we things to be true. So this is why I'm talking this whole conversation of don't take anything personally. Like really, this is important for us to not take anything personally, because don't make assumptions, because oftentimes that can lead into almost use the word toxicity. It can lead into these negative beliefs and feed the negative beast inside of us. It'll feed that negative energy. I want to give you my context. So it kind of puts into picture what exactly happened and why I quote unquote ignored this person like 3 to 4 times. So Justin Square, good to see you on, brother. Good to see you on. Good to see you. Hey, Kitty's on. Yay. Kitty, I'm guessing you just hopped on. I was thinking about you earlier. I mentioned you just 4 or 5 minutes ago. Ooh, how did this fly get in this room? Okay. Saying sup everyone, welcome. I love that you do that. You kind of include everyone. That's really cool. By the way, for anyone who is how come I don't see these people? It's because I'm streaming both on Facebook Live as well as YouTube at the same time. So I hope that doesn't make you feel any less special. Like y'all are awesome. So the comments on both, and if I miss something like this person, I 100% do my best, and I'd like to think that I hit majority of the comments. Assuming and overthinking things can really make a small problem seem humongous. Yes, I agree. Okay, so before I get into the question, I am going to what is this? I am going to finish up the story. So in terms of the story, the whole email story, and this person feeling like I've been ignoring him, and he sent me 3 or 4 messages saying that I'm ignoring him. Those are assumptions. So literally, this is what happened. For the past week, I've been, whatever. I've been working. I've been doing my own thing. Messages. Anytime someone shoots me a message on Messenger, like chat app that I use is Facebook Messenger. Of course, I always do my best to respond. The one thing is, from YouTube responds to me, I know I have a lot of work to do, so I got to be very how I dedicate my time to responding to messages. Onto messages, either how do I say this? Either during a break time or at the very end of my day, like whenever I have time. And in this case, there's a few things I noticed. Number one is I got 2 messages from this person overnight last night. Really, really busy in the moment because I was going from one live call to the Facebook Live to another call right after that. So I had very little time to respond to messages, so I didn't respond there. Let me see here. I think, yeah. I mean, this is getting into the nitty gritty, but when I checked my emails at night, I had enough emails to not really notice if emails that I had to respond to. So I completely missed it. This morning, I didn't really check my emails, whatever it is. So you respond back, hey, it looks like you're upset at me. You didn't respond to my messages. And check my messages. So I wrote him an email in response. How do I say this? Kind of just explain exactly what I'm sharing with you. What else? And then after I sent the email, I was scrolling through my emails, like unread messages, and I realized that he sent an email 3 days ago. How do I say this? It stated, and I completely forgot to respond to the comment. So first of all, that's my fault. That's my fault for missing the question. But my point really is, one reacts a certain way to you. This goes out to everyone here. Just because someone reacts a certain way to you, it's personal. Nothing is ever personal. So if someone forgets to message you, if someone talking to a girl and they stop messaging you, it's nothing personal. It's just message you back. It could be multiple things. Don't make assumptions. It's number one, it could be that they're busy. They're genuinely busy. Number two, it could be that they may not be interested in you. And also, don't take it personally, though. I've been rejected by so many girls. It's not even funny, but it is funny now. I've been rejected by so many girls. I've been ghosted. Have I been ghosted? But the point being, what I've realized in dating so many people is, in a way, stop caring so much about what other people do or don't do. So if they don't respond, respect that they're just may not be interested. And I get it. It's hard. It's a process. They feel offended. We naturally feel, so I'm staring at this huge, oh my goodness, what is that? There's a huge fly in my room. Is that a bee? I don't know what it is, but it's okay. Sorry. Light. What is that? Sorry. That's one funky looking. It's new to me. I'll let it chill there, fly around, enjoy itself. Okay. All right, so what we got here? Here is, I guess really this conversation is don't take it, don't take anything personally, and also don't make assumptions. So it's so annoying. Um, oh, I guess in my lifetime, in my how do I say this? In just path of life, in my just figuring things out, I just realized like the more I interact, the more I just realize like stop putting energy on other people's reactions. Like it really learn how to not feel offended or take things personally or things like that because it's like to feel however they want to feel. If someone doesn't like you in return, like it is what it is. And I get it. We have basic human emotions where we get hurt and stuff like that. But I think when we really truly understand other people better, by the way, not I did not. I'm not trying to ignore messages. I'm going to get through my story and then I'm going to respond back to your messages very soon. I see your messages. So let me see here real quick. I want to share one story and I want to look into the messages and answer some questions. So about a girl that I recently dated, like last year, and you know, this is a girl that's a great connection with, like someone that is, you can say I was infatuated with her. Like she was all this stuff. Like I really wanted to see how things were going. I thought she was totally into me. Like had some chemistry for sure. For sure, we had chemistry. So at this point, I was kind of expecting, okay, well, texting me, right? Like clearly have chemistry. It's like without a doubt. Like there is no doubt. Um. So anyway, like after like a date, I would message her and stuff like that, and kind of going whatever, just have conversation throughout the week, and she didn't respond. I'm just like, it's really painful. Like it really hurt. Like it was. I was trying to suck it up. I was trying to not make a big deal out of it, but it really hurt. Like I was still in that dating phase where I didn't want to, turn her off by like bringing up these really things. So it's weird trying to balance it and suck it up. But like if I take the time to empathize with her, to understand where she's at, then if I fully understand how she's feeling, then there would be no reason for me to personally. So, I mean, I did ask questions. It was a little weird, uncomfortable, because like she wanted a very chill, casual relationship. Well, I guess I wanted something a little bit more connected, serious relationship. So, anyway, I mean, that relationship never worked out because we were not at the places with our lives at that time. So, how do I say this? Yeah. So fully understand um, her perspective. What I'll say is that um, when she didn't respond back to me, it's like there's a part of me that knows to not take it personally. There's a part of me that understands that she is for whatever reasons, and it has nothing to do with me. It's not because I'm not good enough. It's not because she doesn't want to talk to me. Her own story that she's going through, living with. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I know it's nothing personal. Okay, let's dive into some questions right now. I'm going to start off with Anathok. I saw your question sitting there. Sorry, this bug is like like a huge. It's not a fly. It's a freaking. It's like a fly. Like it looks like a fly mated with a bee. That's what it looks like. I don't know what it is. It sounds like a bee and it sounds like a fly at the same time. I don't know what you are. Goodness, it is attracted to light. That's what I'm figuring out. Okay. Onathox says, "What is it? What does taking it personally mean?" So taking it personally, this is a great question. Taking it personally means that you think it's about you. when someone does something, it's the reason is it's because of you, something wrong, or whatever it is. And the truth that I'm figuring out is that I guess so easily distracted. The truth that I'm figuring out that nothing is ever personal. So like if someone, oh goodness, sorry, I feel like okay, this is a really good opportunity for me to just focus on this conversation and not worry about this annoying bug that's over here. It really distracts. Like sometimes I'll be talking in the middle of a presentation and it'll throw me off like that. So maybe something I got to just work on and plow through and not get distracted. Okay, so do you hear that? Do you hear that buzzing? Okay, focus, Richard. Focus. All right. So, so essentially, it's like other people's actions. So this is just a little bit of a reframe. Other people's actions because of you. It's always because of them and whatever they want. So whether it's positive or negative. Yeah. Sorry. This interaction of this bug. It's like it's like it just drops. It makes like a thud sound and then flies back around. So it's like it's scared of bugs. I don't know. Like it depends. Sometimes I guess sometimes yes. Depends. Like if I stare at this bug, it's like I mean it's not gonna do anything, you know? Like I'm not scared of all bugs. Like I don't know what to say here. It's annoying me right now though. That's okay. Okay. So in life, a lot of times when we think someone is like yelling at us, mad at us, or they do something mean to us, it's because of us. So we take it personally, you know? But really, if someone does something mean to you, they hurt you, it's not because of you, but it's a reflection of themselves. So if someone's mean to you, really it's not like they hate you, it's really a reflection of themselves. So in a sense, they kind of hate themselves. Um, I, that's a very surface level answer. I hope I hope it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, or if it seems wrong, it's because there's a deeper message behind it that I'm not fully communicating. And if I were to kind of do my best explaining it, it's how do I say this down? The more fluffy answer is however we see the world is just a reflection of who we are. If you see negativity in the world, that's just a reflection of who you are. If you see positivity in the world, that is a reflection of who you are. If someone is mean to you, that is just a reflection of who they are. Else, it's just a reflection of who you are. Meaning, sorry, the fly. We're only this is a general guideline. We're only capable of that we believe. If we don't believe something, then it doesn't exist. So this example is, but in a way, for me, it's like in general a pretty optimistic person, like pretty positive people. I tend to see the positives in people. When I see the world, I don't. I'm not perfect, but for the most part, when I look at people, I don't see the bad parts of them. I decided to chill out here. What are you? This is it's so fascinating to me. It's a striped bug. It looks like a bee fly. That's what it looks like. Okay. Wow, lost my train of thought. Face your fear and grab it. That's okay. Like random fact about Richard and bugs. If I see a bug in the house, for the most part, I do my best to not kill anything. I know that seems very hippie, or yeah, very hippie like, but try not to kill it, because it's like if it's not, I just let it live. Like if it's not harming me, like I will capture it and release it outside. I don't have anything to capture it with right now, so I'm not going to do it right now. I'll do it after the stream. But sometimes if bugs are super inconvenient, if like they're just like a massive pester. Yeah, so that's what I got. Yeah, so going back to I don't know what we're talking about here. Take things personally, seeing things from our own perspective. That's what I was talking about. Okay, so let's do a little quick transition here. Murray says, "Are you Taiwanese, Chinese, or both?" Just curious. My parents are from Taiwan, so I was born here in the United States in Orange County, California. Immigrated here from Taiwan, so I guess you can say I'm 100% Taiwanese. Autothox, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Let's see. Going back to questions. Justin Square. Not to change subjects, but just I was just using my iron, thinking if it was plugged in for 3 minutes straight. Fail. That's awesome. And then Square says, going through this now. Alrighty. Cool. Sweet. Actually, we are pretty, I mean, we're pretty good with comments and things like that. Any questions that you have? Otherwise, I'll just continue ranting for a little bit more. And then if there's no questions, perfect. We'll end a little bit earlier today. Here. So we talked about don't take anything personally. And what else we talk about? Don't make assumptions. So we talked a lot about not taking things personally. I want to talk a little bit about not making assumptions. So this is a challenging one. It's one thing in terms of languaging that I do is analyze certain situations. Like let's say someone is late. Let's say someone does something that annoys me. Let's say someone is late. Someone cheats in some way. It doesn't have to be relationship cheating. We just something like that. So if I have like this little sense, we all have intuition. We all have this like little sense that's like, ooh, something feels a little bit off here. And what we like to do is we'd like to make assumptions. We'd like to fill in the puzzle piece with what we know, even though we don't know if 100% sure if this is true or not. What I try to do, like how I try to stop making assumptions. Do I need to talk about the value of not making assumptions first? Let's see. Maybe not. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna flow with it. So it's like if I catch myself making an assumption, like I'm like, this person seems like they're lying to me. If I catch myself making an assumption, change the languaging a little bit to like, my experience is, or my gut is telling me that this, I don't know if it's true, but this is what my gut is telling me. So essentially I try to be careful to not make the assumption that that is the truth, because assumptions aren't always true. Even though it's like, I think it's very important to give people the fair chance to to not be judged for the action, to not be judged based off their past history and be like, oh, you're late again. Oh, you're lying again. What if the person's like, no, like seriously, I'm being very honest this time. I know I keep saying that. I know I've lied about it so many times in the past, but I'm being really, really honest with this time. And it's challenging. It's like, in a way, I don't want to say liars are going to lie. It's really interesting. Like the people I hang out with, I don't have, at least I don't believe I have a lot of liars in my life, because I'm very intentional with the people that I hang out with. I hang out with people that I can trust. I hang out with people who are very authentic, open, and they're not about drama. They're not about lying and cheating and stuff like that. So anyway, assumptions. I think making assumptions gets us into trouble. I think assumptions creates a lot of toxicity in our life. in a way, is a little bit of a destroyer of relationships. It's we could start putting this negative energy, and sometimes we don't even know if it's true. So I'm not searching about something. Really, my goal is to ask the other person, "Hey, I wasn't sure. I just want to make sure. Is this? Did I understand this correctly? Did this really happen?" And another thing is, you know, confronting someone is not about making them feel bad. Like, oh, hey, you did this wrong. Confronting someone is about solution. It's about, um, it's for me when I confront someone, judge them to make them feel bad. Like, hey, you did this wrong. No, it's believe confronting someone is really about, again, resolution. It's about figuring out a solution. Like, hey, okay, that's okay. Like, seriously, me for whatever lying or not telling the truth. I understand that you were in a tight spot. I understand that it was a hard position for you to be in. To acknowledge, to understand where the other person's coming from, why they would lie. They're not lying to you because it's personal. Chances are they're lying to you because they are insecure themselves. They're afraid of telling the truth. They're afraid to hurt other people. It's just their insecurities within them. So getting that, giving them permission to not be perfect, and having a very forward conversation like, hey, look, I understand that I don't take it personally. I understand your situation, and I just want to address this. I'm comfortable and whatever about it's okay, but I just want to let you know that I don't appreciate being lied to, or I don't appreciate when you do this. I want to create a relationship where we could trust each other. Sorry. Okay. Justice Square says, how do you deal with maintaining / losing friendships? Maintaining friendships and losing friendships. I think this is a little bit of two things. Thanks for the hearts. Let's talk about maintaining friendships and then losing friendships. So friendships, this is kind of what I feel in terms of friendships. Again, everyone's going to have their own perspective. I think style is going to work for everyone. For me, I kind of have that belief that relationships that are meant to last, relationships that aren't meant to last won't last. And there's a point in forcing relationships. I think relationships should be authentic. Like it will just naturally happen, and you'll just know. Because if you really value a relationship, like it will keep going on. Now, I want to be clear here. This does not mean to not put effort into a relationship. Take effort, but you will know, like your gut, your intuition, your instinct will be like this relationship. So I feel like I should put more time into it. Maintaining relationships. Number one, trust your heart on knowing which relationships are the ones that matter to you most. Yeah, trust your heart on that one. Like for me, I have a lot of great friends in my life, but I can't spend all the time with all of them. So I have to be kind of, I don't want to say I have to be selective, but it's like I choose to pick friends, and once I'll hang out with new people. I used to hang out with people even more. Like I used to like people several times a week, like multiple different people. I don't know. For me, in this period of my life right now, like I don't have that many people in my life, and I'm perfectly okay with that. Like I'm then quantity by it being shallow. So with maintaining relationships, how do I deal with that? Short answer is I'm dating someone who's watching the stream right now, probably. Let's see. And I talk to her every day. Like that's maintaining a relationship. Like I talk to her every day. It's then work with it. There's other people that I very much value in my life, like my brother. I do my best to maintain, make sure that I contact him at least a few times a week, make sure that we're always in touch. So that's how I deal with maintaining friendships. I hope that helps. Losing friendships. I believe, in terms of losing friendships, oh my goodness. So, hey, quick little update on the little bee fly thing. It got into this, I have this like light, and it found another light bulb. So it's completely stuck in the middle of this lighting structure. It has double layers of pattern. So good luck getting out of there. Anyway, so back. That was a little quick commercial break. Back to this one. How do you deal with losing friends? I'm not really worried about losing friends. Like if I lose friends, it likely means that it wasn't a right fit, and I don't mean that in a sad, negative way. It wasn't a right fit or not the right timing in this moment right now. And I always have this faith that if things are meant to be, so if I were meant to be friends with someone, and we have like a falling out right now, that's okay. Like I'm perfectly okay with that because I know down the road that someone will come back into my life in a different way. So, sometimes I do feel a little bit sad that I had good friends. Justin Square, so for people who don't know, Justin Square and I used to be roommates back in college, and we were roommates for what, 3 summers together. So anyway, like with Square and I, like we don't that often. Square's still a cool guy to me. Well, I'll see you when I see you type of thing. Hopefully that's not like a sad conversation. It's, yeah, it just, for me, it's just people who kind of feed that positive energy. And I'm not saying if I don't hang out with you, you in general, positive energy. It's just when I want to hang out with people who give me like the most positive energy. So, okay, let us get into these questions even more. Onathox says, what if no one wants to sit next to me when starting the new semester? Like, don't take it personally. Like, it's challenging. It's like, as a student, as someone, Onathox, sorry, I don't remember exactly how old you are, but I want to say just as a student slash, it's really hard to deal with a lot of these emotions. Like it's so hard to not take things personally when we're young because we depend so much on feedback from our external environment. We depend so much on, especially social feedback. We want to be accepted by people. So if people are not sitting next to us, it makes us feel like no one likes us. But if everyone comes and hangs out with us, it makes us feel validated. It makes us feel important and special and feel popular. Really, how do I say this? It's like, just be you. That's what I have to say. It's like, don't worry if people accept or reject you. And I know that's such a possible thing to think about because it's like, it's all about social judgment and it's all about social acceptance. So, I have a lot of respect for those people. I don't want to put labels, but like people who are kind of, maybe you could say, quote unquote, socially awkward, or they don't that. I have a lot of respect for misfits who are comfortable enough to be like, yeah, it's cool. Like I don't need friends. Like literally, I'm good with just being myself. If people want to be my friend, that's cool. If they don't want to be my friend, that's cool too. Like I admire that a lot. That's a lot of like self-respect slash maturity. And I do want to be clear that misfit means it in a very genuine way, that they generally don't care about other people. If that's just a mask that they're wearing, then that's a different story. Then that's just another conversation that they get to work through. That's what I got there. So, Onathox, if no one wants to sit next to you starting the new semester, seriously, don't worry about it. Like, keep doing you, and will appreciate you for who you are. That's what I have to say. Um, there's a few things going on here. It's in position. Onathox, I think you are a very qualified person. You're very you're a person that has a lot of to him. I know this because we've had conversations already. So, but there's a few things going on here. Like, I don't like talking about, how do you get accepted? How do you become a popular person? A lot of students want to know that. How do you become popular? And honestly, my opinion is stop focusing on trying to be popular. Like, just be yourself. Just enjoy. Like, you don't need to be the most popular kid in school. Stop trying to be validated by everyone else and just be yourself. Like, seriously, screw validation. Screw like trying to be the most popular kid. It doesn't matter. Like, that stuff is so surface level, superficial. It's not going to but it might it feels awesome. It feels awesome to be accepted by people, for sure. And surface level, it's very temporary. Like, that's not going to solve problems and challenges. I don't remember who posted that article about the K-pop star, the Korean pop star. This was like, what, 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, where someone said, "Hey, what do you think about this person?" I forgot that. And if you weren't here for that conversation, essentially, pop star, meaning this guy was super famous. I don't know, probably millions of fans. It's like, I just want to make it very clear, just because you're popular does not, it does not solve all your problems. It doesn't make you happy in particular experience. It might make you feel accepted, but like, what happens? People aren't there for you anymore. What happens when you're no longer popular? Like, you're no longer the king of the hill anymore. So at some point, when people do get to that point, they got to figure out how do they support themselves. Like, I guess in a way, I'm kind of thinking about celebrities that once upon a time they were, celebrities, but nowadays, attention anymore. They're living in a small apartment somewhere, and they're living a very humble life. And some of them end up being depressed. But celebrities that don't learn how to emotions and things like that, because we're all human beings, like underneath the surface. So whether you're popular or not, everyone struggles with their own emotions and things like that. Popular people too. I would almost say especially popular people, issues that they got to work through. Okay, let's move forward here. Don, hey Don, good to see you on. Don says, "Hey Richard, a little off topic, but I noticed I tend to not speak out as much because how can I speak with more confidence?" All righty here. So if you are afraid of being wrong, how do you speak with more confidence? This is such a great question. I love it. Or afraid of being wrong. I'm trying to put myself into like a context. So let's say you're in a social setting. Let's say you're and your friends and you're all kind of like joking around, talking and laughing about things, and then your friends like, "Dude, like for this," like, and then you're like, "I don't know if I agree with that," and then you're just like, like, I don't want to be wrong, like whatever. You're kind of having an argument and you let the other person win. So how do you be more confident with your voice? It's a great question. Like, there's a few thoughts that I have here. Is, how do I say this? It's like, it's a little bit along the lines of respect yourself a little bit more. Like, it's along the lines of know that is no better than yours. And I know a lot of times people want that power. People want that power of like, I'm right, you're wrong. In a way, it's like, you just got to know that your opinion is just as valid as the other person's opinion. And look, wrong, at least it's your opinion. It's good. this is a, I'm going to be very honest here. Like, this is a hard thing for me to talk about because, if quite frankly, I also struggle with, how do I say this? Being afraid that I'm wrong, or like standing strong on my opinion. I'm going to be completely honest. Like, that is something I still struggle with. So I want to just put that out there so you know that about me. So anyway, afraid to be wrong. Here's what I'll tell you. Um, whatever the conversations I have, I do, like a lot of the conversations, a lot of the, whenever I get into an opinion battle or a conversation, I don't want to call it an argument, but just one of those. What I do is I feel like I always trust my heart. Heart knows kind of like what's right and wrong for me. Keyword for me. So if I get into one of those debates with someone else, I'm going to trust my heart. I'm not like, wait, hold on, no, you definitely didn't do that. So here's an example, but it is an example. First, I come to our house, and these gardeners come. They usually come twice a month, like every other week. I've been here, so I've been here every single Monday when they're supposed to come, and I'm like, where are they? Like, they're not coming here, So that's been going on for 2 months, as far as I recall. Finally, the gardener came, and what? Hey, just wondering, like, how come I haven't seen you in 2 months? And then he's like, I'm like, oh, really? Well, how come? In my mind, I'm like, it looks like a mess, and there's no trash. There's no like green waste trash can. And he's like, oh, because we take it, we take it in my trash can. I'm just like, that's not what you guys used to do. Like, you've always put it in my trash can, in our trash can. So, um, I would say, if I'm being very honest, I was a little afraid of being wrong. It's like, I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure, because the backyard looked like a mess, and the trash cans were never filled. I never took out the green waste trash can for the past 2 months. But he kept arguing. He kept going like, no, like, I was here. I was here. I'm just like, what? How do you speak with confidence? Again, this is a very imperfect example, because honest, like, I really didn't want to argue. I value the work that my gardeners do, and great. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to pay you for last month. Like, I just, as long as I see them keep coming, we're good. And they did a really good job when they came this time. So they did a lot of work. Okay. Don, oh goodness. I'm going to hold off on that second question of yours for now. I'll be happy to share a little bit more later, and you'll see. Yeah. Okay. Or you could just, and I'll tell you. But it's not that it's not that I much. I just want to just for now, just be careful. But I'm pretty sure I'm open to sharing about it. Okay. Hold up. All right. Ron says, I don't want to be popular when I was in high school, but I was the prom king out of 300 students. Ooh. Congratulations. That's awesome. It's always fun. Oh my goodness. Richard Wang? Right now? What? Richard Wang's like my friend from like high school. That's crazy. I haven't seen you in forever. If Richard's on. I've noticed there's a lot of Richards on watching these streams lately. I feel like there's like at least 4 different Richards on. Richard, how you doing, man? Crazy, man. I haven't seen you in forever. Alrighty. I'm going to continue with the questions. Alrighty. Kitty says, I have been having problems with body image. I'm so insecure that I have blankets over my mirrors. Please help. Oh goodness. Body image. Body image is I mean, that's a, I don't want to say it's a tricky one. It's one of those things. It's just challenging. So, Kitty, for anyone who struggles with body image, let's have this conversation right now about my story. Some of you might have already heard it. It's actually been a really long time since I feel like I've talked about my story. So I'll kind of give you a quick snippet of it. Growing up, grew up overweight. I was a chubby kid. My brother and sister used to always call me, used to always make fun of me for being chubby. Like, big pig, gordo. Gordo means fat in Spanish. Fatty, fatty McFat, fat, like anything that meant fat. I was chubby. I was never as skinny as my brother. My brother was a freaking toothpick compared to me. Very insecure with my body, which is funny because I used to be a swimmer. I was a swimmer for at least 5 till 18, at least 10 years. I swam for at least 10 years, between 5 and 18 years old. I know that's 13 years, but there's like 2 years where I didn't swim for. Anyway, I remember every single time. A few examples. I'll give you 3 examples of my insecurity with body weight. Swimmer, you have to wear Speedo. There's no choice there. But every single time I would get up on the block, I would always cover myself like this, pretending I'm cold or whatever, just, because I wanted to, like, I was chubby, I was overweight. Other examples, a towel. I would put a towel over me. Whenever we take photos, I would put a towel. Our team photos, I would always want to hide behind someone so people didn't see my stomach and stuff like that. So I was very insecure. Other example is, like, every single time I go to a pool, really embarrassed for taking off my shirt, but I would do it, when it. And I remember sometimes, I remember in college, I was so insecure that I wore a shirt. I didn't take my shirt off when I went to like kind of like a water like that. The other example that I had was fat, that every single time I took a shower, I felt guilty. Why? I was so fat that I was wasting shampoo, or I used to use shampoo for everything, like to wash my body. So it's funny talking about now, but literally, like, my body, I'd like feel really bad because I'm like, if I were skinnier, I wouldn't have to waste so much soap to wash my body. Like, it was literally my thought every single time I whatever, bathed myself. It was here. Anyway, long story short, the most I ever weighed, I was borderline obese at UC Riverside in college. That was the most I ever weighed. So it's not like extraordinary, but I was just really insecure with myself. I ended up losing 60 pounds. So I went from 210 all the way down to 147 in a span of 3 years. And I felt great. Like, I was really confident. I have a photo here on my vision board of the lightest I was, just to remind myself to, keep. Anyway, I felt really happy. I was 147 pounds. I had a mini six pack, so it felt good. Is even though when I was 147 pounds, I was wearing extra small, extra slim fit shirts. Little voice in my head that's like, Richard, you're fat. That literally, I'm as skinny as could be. I can't possibly be. I mean, I could be skinnier, but like skinny. But there's still a voice in my head that said, Richard, fat. And because I'm like, I don't. There's no way I could be any. I would want to be any skinnier than this. Like, this is good. So what I realized was, body image, but body image in general is not about how we actually look, how we feel about ourselves. So, it's how do I say this? There's a few factors here. I'm going to talk about weight specifically, and Kitty, I know you didn't specify that's the conversation that you're having. I see you. Oh man, my audio is choppy. I will read your comments, Kitty, in just a second. I see that you wrote a few things here. Okay, so um, what I'll say in terms of body image, it's sorry for that long story. I hope it was supportive. Henry said he has to go. So I get to the point, and I think I did a little oversharing. Regards, if you have more questions about my, free to ask. I know I didn't like fully complete it, but what I'll say is in terms of body image, how do you improve your body image? And honestly, it's a little bit of a process. I hesitate when I say there's two ways to improve your body image. Learn to accept your body as you are. I think that's the best way. The second one, which I'm a little bit hesitant to do, create the body that you want, such as exercise more, lose weight, or get toned, stuff like that. That definitely builds a lot of confidence. And I work out and I exercise a lot. It definitely feels good. It makes me feel good mentally. It makes me feel good physically. When I look at my body, you can say I love my body and I love the way it looks more than before, as I put in the work into it, and it feels good. So yes, but the more important one is just love your body for what it is. Whether you are overweight, underweight, you have acne, you don't like the way you got cellulite, you don't have a thigh gap. What else is there? Like it's, whatever it is, like just this is kind of a journey. Like just learn to accept your body for what it is, and also know that define everything that you are. Your body is just one aspect of you, and believe what's more important than that. And I hate the fact that at a young age, a lot of teenagers like to compare, and how you look is really, really important. If character is so much more important than the way that you look. Like someone who has a great character than just looks attractive but is it's anyway. Kitty, if there's any other ways I can support, let me know. I'm not missing questions, at least I don't think I am, but I do want to. You did ask a few questions. Kitty says, I know your story. I'm unhappy with the body, but mostly my face. Someone at school told me I was hideous. I will never forget. You're amazing and beautiful. Anything that is that I want to just destroy. So what I'll say, hold on, let me see here. I'm hoping my now. Sorry, I'm jumping around. I will get to it. Okay, I'm hoping everything's okay. What is going on here? Some interesting stuff. So I'm guessing you're responding to someone else that you are amazing and beautiful. That is beautiful. People want to just destroy. So Kitty, I want to let you know that same thing goes for you. Like you're beautiful too. We diminish your beauty, but in a way, everyone on the stream, like we are all beautiful in our own ways. I'll say this, like in terms of physical appearance, we got to deal with what we got. So it doesn't matter how you look. And trust me, I just want to remind you and everyone else, people who are not quote unquote naturally beautiful, they don't have everything. Super beautiful, like you like ask people, is this person beautiful? Like they're like just like 10 out of 10. They have their own body image issues. They were told in their own ways that they weren't good enough, that they're not worthy, and so they struggle with their body image issues too. So yeah, that is what it is. It's like of everything. Anyway, um, who you are. If you're not confident with your face, what I could just say is like, try not to focus your energy on that. Try not to focus your energy on your negativity, on those negative voices that you have, and focus your energy on being that incredible person that you are, who you are, because there's some things that we can't change about ourselves unless, I mean, in this case, you can do plastic surgery, but honestly, it's like, I don't, judge or anything for anyone who does plastic surgery. If that's your choice, that's your choice. I just would rather people just honor and respect and love themselves for who they are. Don't worry about how you look, self by your character. So that's what I'd say. Okay, embrace your flaws, embrace your face, embrace the parts that you don't like about yourself. Just know that and imperfections. Like it's as human beings, we're beautiful creatures. So hopefully that's supportive. Okay. While we're on this topic, sorry, I know I'm going a little bit back and forth. Theft TV says, how do you lose weight? I lost weight, I would say in 3 phases. When I went from 210 all the way down to 147, phase number 1 was hesitantly looking at myself in the mirror. I didn't want to be real with myself. I'm like, oh, my first year I started eating less and running and biking. So that helped me lose maybe 15 pounds or so. Second year, I decided I was working at a company, and there's to do a triathlon, which is bike, swim, run. And I'm like, oh man, that sounds miserable, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Miserable fun. So I did it. I challenged myself. I pushed myself. I knew it was a endurance race. I knew I had to train a lot, like for like 6 to 8 mile runs, which I was never comfortable with. I used to do like 2-mile runs at most, and I hated it. And that helped me lose maybe another 20 pounds. And then one was where I lost the last 15 pounds and, got my little mini 6-pack and stuff like that. Program where I was really intentional with eating healthy and working out, remaining 15 pounds. And yeah, so that's how I lost my weight. Honestly, if I'm being completely real, it's losing weight, in my opinion, on behalf of everyone, but for myself, I feel like losing weight is really is not that bad. It's like, again, sorry, if you see me fidgeting, what I'll say is, with me losing weight, so I've lost like 15 pounds in the past month and a half, and completely honest, like, yes, I'm working out frequently. Yes, I'm eating healthy. I'm not like struggling with it. I'm not like, well, I can't eat anything. Oh my goodness, I gotta work out. No, it's like more recently built up this habit of like eating like very clean. Used to be a pain in the butt for me, but now it's just like, it's really okay. It's like it's challenging, but it's not impossible. It's not that bad. But I don't know. Please don't let what I'm saying discourage you. Please don't be like, oh man, Richard said it's so easy and it feels so difficult. And just try. Just take action. Take action. Take action. Just do your best. Okay. All right. I'm going to go back to kind of where the comments left off, and then let's see. I am. All right. Sorry if I missed your questions. I know some people, I see someone talk about BMI. I don't want to, so I'm going to resume the order, make sure I hit the questions. Marcelli Cupid says, how can I deal with anyone that takes everything very personally? I have a friend and coworker that does that. It's not what you say nor how I say it, but what I say nor how I say it, because I'm very aware of what I say and how I say it. So everything really personally, like, how do you deal with that kind of friend or coworker? My initial answer is you deal with it with compassion. The person for who they are, and we can't change it. We can't change it. We really can't change everyone. If people take everything personally, then it is what it is. And with compassion and just like I don't know how to say this. It's like do your best to communicate. Hey, look, this is how I feel. Your own judgment here. Like if you feel they can somewhat comprehend to like, hey, look, I'm trying to be very, very honest with you here. I do to you. Like I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm not trying to upset you. I'm not trying to be biased against you. I want to make that very clear. And sorry, I almost want to backtrack. It's like, be careful. So I'll finish my thought and I'll explain my next thought. Look, I'm trying to be, I'm not trying to be mean or whatever. Like everything I say, you just take very personally, and you think I'm trying to insult you when really I'm telling you right now that I'm not trying to do that. And conversation with you is because I care about you enough to have this conversation with you. Otherwise, I could just not have it. Anyway, this is a little touchy here. Don't fully take what I'm going to say here. Respect myself enough to know, at the same time, I respect myself enough to know that I don't want to waste all my time and energy having to validate, because I know my intention. I know my intentions are very pure. Sorry, this is way too much. Essentially, like too much. I'm going to pause right here. Like, I know what I'm going to say, but it's too much. Like, if someone takes everything personally, my answer is like, try your best to not spend so much time with them, or like that way where they take everything personally. Like, just let them be, accept them for who they are, and there we go. Okay. Worker misinterprets everything I say and twists my words around to make it seem like I don't have any negative energy towards her, but apparently she does towards me. That's unfortunate. Like, I understand completely. Like, I most definitely have people that interaction in the past, so I get it. It sucks. You give yourself space. Give yourself and that other person space. That's my best for that right now. Anathox is like participate in class a lot, but no one wants to talk to me. Seat next to me. Okay. So you Anathox, going back to kind of being accepted by other people, people, what do I do if people aren't sitting around me? You ask questions, you participate in class, but no one wants to talk to me and sit next to me. So Anathox's answer, are continuing on with what Anathox says. Thank you for your answer. Be myself and be respectful to others, and screw validation. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. Okay. Yep. Forget. Just don't focus on validation. What else in here? Anathox, like, there's something that tells me that you are a very. How do I say this? I think one of the most powerful things that we can do for ourselves is be self-aware. So why people don't accept you for whoever you are, and I don't know how. There's two little things here. Number one is like, I don't want to encourage people to change to be socially accepted. I think it's to just improve yourself, not for the sake of being accepted by everyone else. So, social awareness will support you, and I think Anathox, something tells me you are most definitely capable of. You're pretty decent at that. Areas of improvement, but I think overall, something tells me that you're a-okay. Idea, good to see you on. Alrighty here. I know I'm reading this a little bit late. I'm hoping the audio is not laggy as it was before. Again, I'm it does that. That is such a big problem. I want to really fix my internet problem, and I've tried several times, and I'm still. Oh, sorry if it's a little bit laggy and cuts in and out. So just to be clear, I stream YouTube and Facebook on different internet connections, so that should not be a reason why it's lagging. I think it might be my router, which I don't know. I have a pretty good one, but Don says, I think being scared of being wrong comes from the fact that I always try to avoid conflict. Let's see. Scared of being wrong. Yeah. Me too. I've always been someone who, historically in my younger life, or even today, I would say, conflict. I don't like getting into fights with people. So, yeah. Hey, Mike. Good to see you on. Mike Lee. So, yes, Facebook should be streaming perfectly fine because you're on mobile data. But my regular internet, YouTube people are having the problem with the internet connection right now. Mike, I'll get back to your questions. I saw that you asked another question. I'm going to get through the YouTube ones, and then I'll get back to you. Delay people. All right. We're catching up. Richard, sorry, I just joined the channel. Could you quickly talk about not taking anything personally? Here. Let me see here. Not talking about... So Tokyo Dragon, what I'm going to do, two things. Number one, sorry, I know this is all the comments are completely late. If anyone could catch Tokyo Dragon up on the conversation around, great. Otherwise, what I always do at the very end of every single conversation is when I wrap up, I summarize everything that we talked about on the stream right before we end it. So that's another opportunity to do that. Rico Solis says, do you take any supplements for weight loss? I don't take any supplements for weight loss. I would say in terms of nutrition, I'm not great with my macros. Macros meaning nutrition, stuff. Macros, I'm a little bit more aware of. That's, macros are, what is it? It's protein, carbohydrates, and so I'm a little bit more mindful, but I'm not super strict on it. Let's see. Alrighty. All right. Rico says, I want to be thin. I hit a plateau. Let's see. With weight loss, if you're overweight with your weight loss, honestly, I don't know all the behind it in terms of like, I do believe genetics plays a part with how quickly you can lose weight and stuff. Someone who grew up overweight, I don't know. I don't want to give you this as a fact, but like, I do feel that to lose weight. I think everyone's going to lose weight at a different pace. Lost 15 pounds somewhat effortlessly in the past month and a half doesn't mean that everyone is like genetically easier way, but I don't know. It's really, but I think if you put in the hard work, if you eat clean, for me, I think something that really helps is I stay away from processed foods. So my diet, like I used to eat a lot of bread. I don't eat breakfast anymore because I do intermittent fasting, which means I eat from 12 to 8. If I'm only eating from 12 to 8, that cuts down the calories that I'm consuming throughout the day. So if you want to lose weight, a huge hack, in my opinion, is intermittent fasting. Eat from 12 to 8. And I would say other ways that I've been really that have helped me lose a lot of weight, I would say, is cutting out processed foods. Why? Because a lot of processed foods is a lot of carbohydrates. So I don't eat bread. I mean, once in a while I'll eat bread. Very rarely. I don't buy bread. I don't buy processed. I don't. My pantry. The only things in my pantry that I eat are like nuts, almonds, walnuts, macadamia nuts, and cashews. Like that's all that's in my pantry that I eat. Everything else is perishable stuff like that. foods, like veggie burgers. Not perfectly healthy, but it's there if I need it. So I would say that's been helping me. Also, taking out processed sugars. Like I try to avoid those dried cranberries. Which I try to not eat dried fruits because dried fruits are typically have a lot of sugar in it. I eat fresh fruit, which also does have sugar and carbohydrates. Side. So that's what I'd say. Processed foods, cutting out straight up carbs. Carbs like quinoa, stuff like that once in a while, but I just try to stay away from it. What fills me up, what I'm very grateful for myself, I don't know, I don't think this is healthy, this is, but tofu is my cheat food. It's like, I eat tofu like it's ice cream. Like it's, I don't know, I used to, that doesn't sound like fun. But honestly, tofu is like my cheat food. It's low in calories and it's filling. To me, it's refreshing. It's delicious. So my substitute for carbs in a way. It's protein, I think. Okay. Don says it's easier to lose weight if you weigh more due to metabolism. It is a challenge. Okay. Let's see here. Kitty says, why does it feel impossible to love myself? It is like I am my own enemy. I can love everyone but me. Like the age-old question. Like, Kitty, you're not the only one who has the trouble loving. That's a huge struggle a lot of us deal with, is how do we learn to love ourselves? A lot of it is the reasons why we don't love ourselves is because we are super overly critical about ourselves. Like we put a huge high expectation of ourselves that we need to be this person. And when we don't hit this expectation, we feel disappointed in ourselves. So we don't love ourselves because we don't feel like we feel disappointed when we don't accomplish our expectations. So that's number one. I get it. Like for me, it feels kind of the same way. Sometimes it feels like it's easier for me to love other people than to love myself. I think, how do I say this? Self-love. Because we always see ourselves in a first-person perspective. To support a little bit is to see ourselves in a third-person perspective, to remember that we are a human being, ourselves like everyone else, to treat ourselves like a human being. So, it's a few things, a few suggestions. If you want to learn how to love yourself, I wish I can give you like the top tips right now. Off the top of my head, I would say acknowledge yourself. So every single night before I go to sleep, I always journal. I do 3 things when I journal. Number 1 is just journal about the day. What I learned today, big lessons, realizations, or just journal about what happened today. Wins. What did I do well today? How did I win the day today? If you feel like you failed today, even though it felt like it was awful, wins. Focus on your victories. That positivity reminds me I'm not a complete failure. I'm actually doing a lot of great things, even if I don't feel like I am. So wins are important. Gratitude. What are you thankful for? And then you make tomorrow better. So those are the things I always journal when I go to sleep. So is focus on your wins. Another thing that you can do, really take some time to think about an incredible person. Like just, make a list, 15 things, 15 reasons why you're incredible. And incredible, then, that's just the stories that you're telling yourself. So find reasons why you're incredible. I think you are. Again, that's your mind focusing. The truth is what you make of it. So if you want to believe the negative stuff, if you want to believe the positive stuff, the positive stuff will become true too. So it's really just up to you. All right, Araceli Cupid, if you are on or not, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you later. Araceli said she's hopping off right now. Also wrapping up, but just a few more questions here, and then we will soon. Anki says, might be off topic, but if you can answer, how to keep oneself focused on future and not on what happened in the past. Great question here. How do you focus on future versus the past? Okay. So now it is it is it's kind of, I believe it's very simple. And this you know, that common thing, I'm just going to call it I can't think of the word. That thing where you have your shoulder and the devil on your shoulder. You have the positive voice and that negative voice. So how do you keep focus on your future versus the past? Really, I think when I understood this concept, it was simple. The past, your past is always telling you how worthless you are, you know, how much you screwed up, how much you're, you know, you failed and not achieved. Voice, your vision focused voice is always like, you know, it's possible, your goals, and you're going to get there. And you know that. You know, if you focus on your goals, you're going to get there as long as you focus on it. So here's what you do. I've talked about this a lot, but I want to repeat it again because it's life-changing, simple thoughts. And that is, you got positive voice, negative voice. So cliche and typical, but hear me out here and really try to understand this because it was life-changing for me. So you understand the basic premise. Listen to the positive voice, stop listening to the negative voice. But here, I believe, is what made the difference for me. Don't ignore your negative voice. It's not there. Your negative voice is there. Treat both voices, your internal voices, with respect. Negative voice. Don't, you know, just love your positive voice. Voices. So if you got negative conversation, what you do is, hey, negative conversation. I used to call it Felicia, you know, bye Felicia. That's the easy one to remember. Changing it to negative Nancy. Because I don't know, to me, it's more solid. Negative Nancy. So, hey, negative Nancy. I say negative Nancy, like, I still respect negative Nancy. You know, it's not like oh, you're that bad voice, I don't want to listen to you. No, it's, hey, negative Nancy, I understand that you want to go back there and look at the past. Go back there and look at all those, you know, remind me of all those, you know, I love you, I accept you, you know, where you were at. And I understand you want to try to influence me. I respect you, but I really need to focus on my future right now. And so, hey, you know, there's a nice warm cottage in the back. Hey, you should go hang out there. And for me, you know, negative Nancy is like kind of a little bit gullible. It's like, hey, cool, yeah, I'm gonna go hang out in that little cottage in the back of your brain. Pancakes, you know, like, go hang out back there, enjoy yourself, like, go vacation out there. So it's acknowledging, it's loving that negative voice that always reminds you of the past and like how, you know, quote unquote worthless you are. But that voice take a vacation, letting negative Nancy take a vacation, and that way you can focus on the positive, focus on the present, focus on the vision voice. So that's all it is. It's, don't pretend it's not there. Your negative voice is there. It's always going to constantly try to bother you. Give Nancy permission to go chill out in the back cottage, you know, take a vacation. So that's really, to me, that's kind of what always changed my life. It's focus on the positive. Negative voice, accept it, love it, vacation. So that's all. Anytime you notice that you keep going to that negative voice, positive one, let it go. What I'll say is, I understand. Practice this. I kind of, like, I was like, man, I tried so hard, but the negative voice is still there. That's okay. Process. Keep practicing. Don't give up. Negative voice is still there. Keep going. Don't give up. It will eventually go away. It'll keep coming back too, but it's a muscle. It's training. Like, once you practice enough, like, it'll still be there, but, you know, it'll be mostly hanging out on its own little vacation mode. Okay. Where are we at now? All right, next question. Don Day says, how do you eat tofu? So that I'm a very, very simple man. I don't need to cook tofu. I don't need to prepare it in any way. Literally, I buy organic tofu out of straight out, like, that container that's 14 ounces, and I slice it up into little cubes, like half the package, which is that's like 7 ounces of tofu for a meal. But I like it, and I'll continue to do some research on the health. How much tofu is healthy, how much is too much. I probably eat a little bit too much tofu, but for me, it's great because tofu is so cheap. Like, is like $1 at most. At most, it's dollars for a package. So for one meal, it's like $1 in the United States for organic tofu, which is like, that's really inexpensive, and for about $1.50 because I get it at Costco. They sell 4 of them in a pack. So, meal, I don't just eat tofu for a meal, but I eat half of it, which is 75 cents. Inexpensive. I get like veggie barley soup, which is like, or like however much I eat for a meal. It might be, let's see, $4 for one. It might be $1 free, so $2. I would say I spend per meal if I eat kind of like super simple, easy way. Like, this is the not a lot of food prep necessary. So, I spend less than $3 per meal. So that's like veggie barley soup from organic veggie barley soup from Costco, and like spinach or kale or something like that. Organic spinach, kale. That's how I do it. It's simple, easy, cheap. And then yeah, okay, that's what I got. Kitty, I don't know if you've hopped off already. I think I have a feeling that you did already. If you haven't, have a good night, and I'll see you on later. Thanks so much. Theft TV, I don't eat breakfast because I do intermittent fasting. So I skip breakfast, which works out for me. I start eating at 12 p.m. until 8 p.m. That's my feeding period. All right. Does chugging water help against cravings? That helps. I've heard a cheat, kind of like a little bit of a cheat, is drinking soda water. So if you're doing intermittent fasting, I heard using like sparkling water, it'll help kind of, calm your stomach down or whatever. But what calms my cravings is like keeping busy. Like, when I'm staying busy, for the most part, I don't have time to think about food. So that's what helps me. Yeah. That's how I do with it. All right. I don't even know, Mike. I have no idea if you're still on right now. I have a feeling you're going to be off now, but I'm going to go back and read your comments real quick. Totally relate with the wasting soap story because I went through that phase too. Interesting. Earlier, I said I used to feel guilty for taking because I was overweight. I felt like I was wasting a lot of soap because I was so fat. True story. Ron says, as long as you have a beautiful heart, you're beautiful. I like that. And then, okay, cool. I think we're caught up. It's cool. We're caught up there. Up with comments. All right. So at this point, we're already an hour by 33 minutes. So an hour, 33 minutes. So last thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to wrap up for this evening, give you the quick recap of around not taking anything personally, make assumptions. So essentially, I'm going to utilize and suggest the book, The 4 Agreements, one of my favorite books, super simple read. 4 agreements. One is don't take anything personally. Is don't make assumptions. So anytime someone, how do I say this? Someone does something to you. It's not, they didn't do something because of you. They did something because of themselves. So, and then I'm sorry I didn't do a super good job explaining just right now, but hopefully that, if you got questions, you could ask me. Second thing is don't make assumptions. And even though we can guess things, careful not to assume things to the point where like, no, I know he's lying, because you can use whatever educated guesses, but don't make assumptions, because assumptions will lead to a lot of unhappiness, and I would say almost toxicity in yourself and others. I've experienced. So, yes, that's what I have. But I'm gonna leave it at that for tonight. Okay, thank you so much for hopping on, and I will see you all p.m. Pacific Standard Time here in LA area tomorrow. Okay, let's see. Oh goodness, theft. I will answer that. I'll answer that question in a future stream. Okay, thanks for the question. Okay, bye.